NFL news and some talk. Speaking of Philly, cut ties to that boy Dougie P. A lot of stuff going on, and here's kind of my whole take with the whole thing. Someone had to go. It was Dougie P or it was Carson. Just an unrepairable relationship, and
all right, wait, you finish what you're saying.
Here's what I'm saying. Do you fire a coach for having one bad year? I get that argument. And I get not getting rid of Carson Wentz for having one bad year. It was just a bad year for that football team. Just weren't able to stay healthy. D-Jag, Alshon Jeffrey, none of the offensive weapons were able to stay healthy, which obviously led to Carson Wentz kind of having a stinker year, which I then would think would believe to your play caller and your head coach also having a bad year. When I look at things, if I look at it in a vacuum, one guy won a Super Bowl and the other guy didn't, which is what it is. But, I know a lot of things, Philly fans, I'll let you get to this in a second, obviously wanted Dougie P out. I think for the most part, obviously want Howie Roseman out. But yesterday they decided that we're going to go ahead and Carson Wentz. Which still to me just has a big question. They're still going to have
still the same competition.
It's still going to be a big decision at quarterback. And I'm sitting here thinking about head coaching, who would step in for that head coach role. I'm not going to lie. I don't think it's a very attractive head coaching role just because they have the second least amount of cap space in the NFL behind the Saints. You have a huge question you're going to have to answer at the quarterback position. And just, I don't know. So I just think somebody had to go in that situation. And like you said, trading away Carson Wentz or whatever you would have done with that would have left you with a lot of dead cap. So I think they just decided, listen, we can just sign another head coach for $5-6 million. Now, this being said, Joe Douglas, who was once a part of Philly, who is now the Jets general manager, Dougie P's his guy. So there's a lot of rumors going around. Dougie P's going to head on over.
Might go to the Jets, boy.
Which I'm not necessarily mad at. Doug Pederson will 100% get another coaching job in this league by next year. There's no way he doesn't. Like I said, it was just a very, very bad year for Philadelphia as a whole, as it was for a lot of teams. But Philly just kind of being as loud as they are, it just seemed more on the forefront. And I like Dougie P, I still like Carson Wentz, but someone had to go, and they obviously went with Carson. And Doug Pederson will find another job, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. I really do think he's going to end up at the Jets over there. But I think really kind of what went down is just Jeff Lurie, the owner, and Howie Roseman, the GM. They really have had strict control over this team, for the last 10, 15 years at this point. And this has been a problem with past head coaches as well, is like they come in, they want to make changes. They want to be more involved in the draft. They want to try to build the team versus just coach it. And they've never really allowed that at all. So, win and loss, all still gets blamed on the head coach. But I do think, the problem was in the front office here. Doug Pederson came in and did his job, as a Philly fan, as the boy, he did it. He literally did what he was supposed to do. You saw the decline of the team these past 3 years, but I think that contributes a lot to the offensive line. And dude's just getting old. Dude's just getting hurt.
The team just can't stay healthy.
Not being replaced. The depth is obviously not there on Philly. That's what we've been saying for the past 3 years. But now let's not forget they just fired defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, also out of there. There's no offensive play caller, and now we just fired our head coach. So it's kind of a hot fucking mess right now. And then all of that on top, you have to figure out, are you still going to go with Carson or Jalen Hurts?
That's the one thing I don't understand is because Lurie and Roseman obviously bought into Carson Wentz, giving him that huge contract, but then they both decided to go ahead and draft Jalen Hurts. So the fact that they decided to go all in with Carson Wentz, because I'm pretty sure he's going to stay. That's what it feels like.
I think especially now with Pederson gone, it does feel like Carson is going to stay more because all that. I do think the media just hyped it up a lot more than it was. I don't think there was all this hatred for the coach. There was nothing like that. I think it's just Doug Pederson has been there for 3 years at this point, and he wants to invest for the future. He wants to try to make the team better. He wants to be involved with decisions, and he wasn't doing that. So I'm sure he just got sick of their shit, and they're like, all right, well, we're not going to see eye to eye. See ya, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard things where he wanted to get fired, he wanted out of there, and I mean, listen, you know, to the Philly fans out there, I just think it's a hard pill you guys got to swallow. That the team is just a mess, and it's got something drastic's going to happen. The team does not get
The
better
team and the
next year.
coaching staff, it's brutal. It's a clear rebuild at this point. We got the 6th pick in the draft, and we really just need a star receiver. I'm looking at Devonta Smith. Probably might be gone at that point.
He won't be there.
But as well as Jamar Chase, I think is up there.
Jamar Chase, we're talking Waddle, dude. We're talking the kid.
Waddle, yeah. I mean, we just recruited Jalen Reagor and needed him to be that guy. I mean, he's a good vertical runner, but we just saw no production out of him this year. So I think drafting another guy on top of that, probably popping Alshon out. We're going to lose Zach Ertz here. Dallas Goedert will step up and is a great player. Love Dallas Goedert, but there's just a lot of people need to fill some spots on that team.
They got to fill some spots, and like I said, I think they just need to trade as much of those big contracts as they can, build up through the draft. Especially, you're going to hang on to Carson Wentz. It kind of goes back to the Deshaun Watson thing. It's like it's kind of really hard to rebuild a team when your quarterback is taking up 30% of your salary cap. So that's what you got to build around him through the draft and stuff like that. So I mean, we'll see what happens. Philly's going to have a very interesting offseason. And if that boy Dougie P comes down to the Jets, I mean, we'll welcome him for sure. I mean,
oh yeah, I mean, like you said, he's 100% going to have a job. I mean, man won a Super Bowl in the last.
Won a Super Bowl, had a over 500 record, and like you said, it's pretty split right now. We could blame a lot of the failure this season on the GM, on the coaching, on the players. Is what it is, just a bad season, and we'll see what happens there in Philadelphia going forward. But Jesus, excuse me, all that barbecue chicken alert.